Staycity Apart Hotels. Half apartment, half hotel. Warm beds, comfy sofas, and fully equipped kitchens. We offer guests more, so you can do more. Cook, sleep, work, play. Welcoming, accommodating, and big beds for jumping. Smart travellers choose Staycity because Staycity is the smart choice. Staycity, half apartment, half hotel, all across Europe. Save 10% every time you book at staycity.com.
We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are embedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship and initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing club championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
One of my favourite places to grab a coffee in Dublin is Bua. It's one of these kind of COVID coffee trucks that popped up, and it's kind of developed into this bit of a social hub. I'll always find myself being drawn back to social fabric. It's just a beautiful place to go. They always have consistently good food there. Bar 1661. So I love watching them make the cocktails, shake it up, garnish it, serve it. Howth village itself is a lovely little kind of seaside town. The Gravity Bar up on the top floor of the storehouse, and it's just an amazing place, an amazing view of Dublin City. Definitely visit Temple Bar and take in what's there. My advice would be to try your best to see other parts of the city. Brian Fenton, this is my Dublin.
It has to be Tang on Abbey Street. You can't beat their flatbreads with the chickpeas and spicy chicken. It's Irish owned, great food, great people. Shoe Lane beside Tara Street train station. It was close to Trinity where I went to college. They have nice croissants, fruit scones. If you're ever looking for a quiet place to go and chat with your mates, the Snug and Chaplin's has to be the go-to. Lovely old interior. Just have to get the dart out to Vico Baths, bring the swimming togs, go for a dip, and you get a lovely view of Killiney Bay. The Epic Museum, I think it's something nice to just figure out the history of the city. You have to go and visit a GAA or hurling or camogie game. It's the most amazing atmosphere. It's going to be an unforgettable experience. Cian O'Sullivan, this is my Dublin.
Tribeca in Ranelagh. I had to go with my family. It's a favourite of ours. Definitely recommend trying their wings. The Metro Cafe, it's a great spot for people watching, especially when it's sunny outside. An oat milk cappuccino would be my go-to. The atmosphere in Devitt is always brilliant. We've had plenty of team nights out there, always great crack. The Timber Trove Cafe in the Dublin Mountains, it's a really cosy family-run cafe. Family House would definitely be a must visit. They have monthly markets on which are gorgeous. I would advise you to walk around the city because most of the main attractions are close by and you can get there quicker on foot. Niamh Gannon, this is my Dublin.
Kyo's Cafe in Portobello. I really like going back just for the vibe. It's nice and chill, people are really cool. Trails Cafe in Ticknock. The coffee is really, really good. Americano, small bit of milk, and you're good to go and hit the trails. Blue Light is always a nice roaring fire. We tend to go up after All-Ireland final week. It's a really nice place to be. I'd recommend getting out to Poolbeg Lighthouse. It's a great walk out. You get a great view back of the city. If you get the chance, I'd go up to Ticknock, go up and rent a mountain bike. Trails up there are pretty cool. Bring a raincoat, a shower's never too far away. Orla Nolan, this is my Dublin.
With the stream in the first half, so if you're joining us now, it's 1-5 to 3 to Nafina. A goal coming late in the first half from Mark O'Leary, and Johnny Cooper, he was given a black card around the 28 minutes, so he'll be off for a few minutes. There was injury time at the end of the first half, and that's when Crokes got their goal. We're underway in the second half here. David Quinn, and then it's worked back, and eventually it's Aaron Byrne and James Doran. Now Brennan. So Coleman and Nafina getting their hands on the ball early here.
Yeah, nice start. Big hit from David Quinn to secure possession there, just to get them on the front foot. In some respects, you're trying to wind down the clock again without giving away a big score. We mentioned before half time the great goal that Kilmacud worked. You were trying to do everything in your power to prevent that. So as you're winding down the clock to get Johnny Cooper back onto the field, you're also going to try and see if you can get a score. But Nafina need to just up the levels now and go at it for 10 minutes. Wind down the clock a little bit, see if you can work a score. Johnny Cooper's already warming up the far side of the field. Need to narrow that gap.
So this is very deliberate time wasting here from Nafina to kill that black card clock.
Yeah, I won't call it time wasting obviously, but what you want to try and do is hold on to the ball as long as you not do that.
Brilliant work by Paul Mannion on David Quinn, and Crokes now have open country in front of him. Paul Mannion, he's got Rory O'Carroll to his right. Mannion keeps bringing it forward. Eventually hand pass comes to Rory O'Carroll, who turns, winds, and it's saved brilliantly by David O'Hanlon. That is a huge let off for Nafina, and it keeps the game alive.
Oh yeah, I don't think he got the pass fully right. Paul Mannion, David Quinn, as we mentioned, was holding on to the ball. Mannion, brilliant tackle, turns it over, and then the right man heading down the stretch popped it inside to Rory O'Carroll. I'm not sure if the pass went exactly as Paul Mannion would have planned it, but Nafina did well to scramble the fence, get a block and goals from David O'Hanlon and stay in the game. A second goal there, I think it was game over for Nafina. Maybe that'll give them a lift. They need a jolt. Maybe that's the one to do it.
It's definitely injected some urgency into the crowd. Aaron Byrne runs forward but stops up.
Yeah, did he pull his hamstring? No, I thought he was after checking his run there because of a hamstring, but maybe he was just crossed. There was nothing happening in front of him.
Well, Quinn gifted away the ball the last time he had it. Now Byrne has it. He seems to be moving just fine. And he's blocked down by Darren Mullen. Now Hugh Kenny runs out over the sideline, but he manages to feed the ball back in, although it now looks like it is a sideline to Nafina. James Doran has the ball.
Yeah, but brilliant defence again from Kilmacud Crokes. Like you're talking, Paul Mannion getting the turnover. Michael Mullen is doing great work from a defensive point of view, as is Darren Mullen dropping back the field. So it's just huge work all over the place that's allowing them create the platform that's causing Nafina the huge problem.
And McHugh, he makes an incision and cuts that ball over the bar. It would have gone back for a free from a tug from Michael Mullen, but an important score for Conor McHugh, who was relatively quiet in that first half. He had popped over a free. He's got one from play now, and it cuts the gap back to 4 points.
Yeah, well, you're looking for leadership, the brilliant leadership from Conor McHugh there. Took it on, won the free, but then backed himself to kick it over the bar. But great pressure.
Mullen, kick pass inside to Mannion, and really nice hand in from Adam Rafter.
Yeah, and he's got the decision as well. Not quite sure how, because it looked like it was him who punched the ball out of Paul Mannion's hand, but great tackling, great battle between the two of them.
Yeah, Rafter let him know too. They had a bit of off the ball in the first half. Mightn't be the end of it. Here's Merchant. It's probably somewhat quiet in the first half.
Yeah, but you could say that across the board. Kilmacud just did such a great job of nullifying the big key threats. It's huge work rate from Kilmacud. It's their forwards lead by example all the way back the field. Darragh Mullen through Paul Mannion, back through Shane Walsh. Great effort, and Hugh Kenny as well. Always working so hard.
And here's David O'Hanlon. And back to Brennan. All the while, this is eating up the clock in terms of the black card. So Johnny Cooper, the next break of play or two, he'll be back on. Aaron Byrne runs at Shane Walsh. Not many lads succeed trying to do that. A big ball inside to Brian O'Leary, which breaks away, and it's Crokes with the ball. Rory O'Carroll to Dara Mullen. And you can see Johnny Cooper prowling the sideline. He's got a yellow bib on. Definitely keen to get back in. Paddy O'Connor, who showed a lot for ball in the first half, to Craig Diaz. Goal scorer O'Leary. And now Paddy O'Connor unwinds with an outside of the boot shot, which comes back off the post, and Owen Merchant, the right man in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, 100%. Like Hugh Kenny is standing on his own there, but fair play to Owen Merchant, managed to get in front of the ball as it came off the upright.
Big booming kick from Doran. And McHugh trying to use his body to nudge away Mullen, but very good play again from Crokes. Very quick to get men back anytime that there's danger on. Now it's Shane Walsh. He kicks inside for Kenny. Kenny shows in front, spins at the edge of the D, and puts that ball over the bar. 1-6 to 4 points.
Yeah, great score, simple. Looks up, first ball into Kenny and just swings around the corner. Defender left trailing in his wake, pops it over the bar. Saying he was inside. It's a hot ball, maybe.
Yeah. Referee's calling for the ball.
Yeah, was he inside, obviously? Johnny Cooper ready to go, I think, here on the sideline.
Yeah. So now referee Darren Delaney about to throw the ball in. Ben Shovlin's going to contest it, so too Donal Ryan, two big men. And eventually breaks away to Paddy O'Connor. And that's over the bar for his third point. And a kick out going awry, and Crokes punishing Na Fianna to the fullest.
Yeah, and they've done that throughout. They've been very good at finding where the errors are and then punching a hole when they've managed to do that. Paddy O'Connor just picks up a great break. Well punched forward by Shovlin.
And Johnny Cooper is back on the field. Warming up over on that far sideline is Killian Deely. So Na Fianna will be making a change in the next minute or two, you'd imagine. Kieran Redden is fouled by Shovlin. Substitution now about to be made.
So Cian O'Connor, maybe Rory O'Carroll who's leaving the field.
Yeah, that's Rory O'Carroll's day done. 37 minutes here. Seven minutes into the second half. Robbie Brennan, the incoming Meath manager, he's made his change. Now O'Hanlon to Fiacre Potts. And Potts with a kick pass inside, which is won really, really well by Conor McHugh, and he's eventually fouled by Paul Mannion. Mannion looks frustrated, but McHugh...
Yeah, and I wonder, could Paul Mannion be in difficulty here? He has a yellow card. The referee is looking to come in and chat to, or the linesman is looking to come in and chat to the referee, potentially saying that there's a high hand. There's a couple of people not happy with this, so the ball has been moved forward.
Yeah, so it's Killian Deely. He's onto the pitch, and it looks like Donal Ryan is marching off. But incredibly well won by McHugh there. They're going to need that sort of leadership at the top end of the field.
Yeah, he's been very good since the start of the second half. He's got a score. Won a very difficult ball there, in fairness to him, to get on to create a scoring opportunity. Then the bit of back chat to the referee moves it forward and makes it that little bit more easier.
And we have another Na Fianna player coming onto the pitch, number 20. That's Sean Caffrey.
Aaron Byrne, who's leaving the field, just hasn't managed to get into the game. Maybe picked up a little bit of a niggle.
Yeah, he looked to pull up at one stage, former Dublin panellist. Lacey standing over the ball. Has a chance to cut the gap back to 5 points. It's a long way back when you're 6 behind against Kilmacud Crokes, who are chasing 4 in a row. Can Lacey do something about that? He can indeed. That's over the bar. We're back to within 5 points.
Just need to back up this score now. Need to try and get another one. Just narrow the gap once more. Can't allow Crokes to get on easy ball here and kind of dictate the terms and the pace of play as is happening at the minute.
It's a high press from Nafina, so they're going to force Devin Burns to go long, which he does. And it looks like it's uncontested for Mark O'Leary, which will certainly frustrate the Nafina management. Players just not switched on there, Coleman.
Yeah, there was enough of them around to try and put pressure on the kick out. Kilma could have been brilliant at punishing mistakes or just a lack of execution on a lot of what Nafina have done today, and it hasn't been that Crokes have been brilliant in terms of everything they've done, but they've certainly punched holes where they can.
Paddy O'Connor looking for his 4th point. Checks back inside and he trots away contentedly. That's his 4 point of the day. That's 1-8 to 5 points, back to a 6-point gap.
Yeah, and you think of the kick out, how easy it was for Kilmacud to get away there, and allows Paddy Connor a free run at goal.
And Dealey, his first real contribution since coming on, and the free is moved up, but Nafina looked to play on. Caffrey has the ball. Now McHugh has a chance to run at Mullen, but brilliant hand in from Mullen. Pieces are picked up by Nafina, and an incredible shot from Conor McHugh, which is beaten away by Devin Burns. Ambitious to take the shot from there, but what a brilliant save.
Yeah, well, he knew the team needed something and he took it on, in fairness to him. But thought it was heading for the top corner. Devin Burns, full stretch. Great tackle here initially from Mullen to turn the ball away. Brilliant pick up on following through. Then got it on his left, went for the top corner. Brilliant save for Burns to push it away.
Burns has to go long again. It's cut out by David Quinn. Quinn to Doran. Now Doran has a chance to run at the Crokes defence. He manages to get the ball back to Quinn again, who lashes at that ball, and it's over the bar. So all of a sudden Nafina looking that bit more dangerous up at the top end of the field.
Well, it's after giving them a bit of a spark of life there. They've had that potential goal chance that was turned away by Devin Burns, and they managed to get a score. They're putting a squeeze on the kick out again here. If they can build a little bit of momentum, they can get at Kilmacud.
And Burns has to go long again. Shovlin got a hand to it, but it's Caffrey, and it's turned over by Paddy O'Connor, but Caffrey has it once more. There's a 1-2 with Johnny Cooper.
Has had an impact since he came in, Caffrey, in fairness to him.
And here's Potts now. Feeds it inside to Conor McHugh. And he wins a free from Michael Mullen.
And there'll be a card from Michael Mullen, because Conor McHugh has been brilliant in the second half. He's had probably 6 balls that have gone his way. He's won every one of them. Everything hasn't been perfect by any means, but he's put pressure on Mullen from a defensive point of view, which meant Mullen has left the hand in, has been caught a couple of times on fouls, so now it puts him on a yellow, puts him on the back foot. We've seen earlier on Paul Mannion's yellow that when the Nafina player were running at him, he wasn't able to put in the tackle because of fear of a second yellow. So you can see the referee counting out the amount of frees he's made, yellow card. So now there's opportunity for Conor McHugh to really go hard at him.
And another substitute in. Dara Kennedy on and Tom Brennan off. So an opportunity now for David Lacey to cut into the gap just that little bit more. This will bring it back to a 4-point gap.
Great servant for Nafina, Dara Kennedy. Nice to see him tugged out.
Lacey taking his time and puts that between the posts. So just a 4-point gap now. And a chance for Nafina to press up on Burns once more. The last couple of kickouts have been turned over.
Yeah, good response. First time they've managed to do back-to-back scores since the 16th, between the 16th and 18th minute of the first half. So again, press on the kick out.
Burns has Craig Diaz free. Really nice ball through the eye of a needle. But Diaz, he stumbles a little bit and he overcarries the ball. Good pressure from David Lacey, who's just popped over those 2 frees.
Just lost his footing at the wrong time, Craig Diaz, after a brilliant run and brilliant find by the goalkeeper.
Now McHugh with a chance to run at Mullen, who's on that yellow card. Gives it back to Redden. Redden now to Lacey, who scored 2 frees from that area. And now he's knocked one over the bar from play, so it's game on now. Just 3 points between the sides coming.
Yeah, big response from Nafina there. It's not that Kilmacud are doing anything wrong as such. They got the kick out away there. Craig Diaz just unlucky that he lost his footing. But Nafina just a little bit more purposeful in everything they're trying to do, and a couple of fellas have stood up. Conor McHugh has been very good. Caffrey since he came onto the field, and they're now contesting kickouts in the middle of the field. Big leap.
Big leap from Dealey, but it breaks for Shovlin. And he's running into a lot of pressure from Nafina, but Nafina overdo it, and referee Darren Delaney is suggesting that Caffrey maybe had a loose boot in there.
I think he just raised it at Andy McGowan as he was picking up the ball. Kilmacood's chance now to just settle things down a little bit. Put the gap down to 3, just suddenly lifts the whole team, a little bit more confidence. Great response to the deficit that was there at the beginning of the second half.
And McGowan under pressure from Redden. He goes back to Byrne. Burns just holds on to it. He doesn't have too many free men in front of him. Shovlin eventually breaks away from Caffrey. And he has Paul Mannion showing with Rafter close by. And Crokes taking the sting out of the game now, holding on to the ball around the middle of the pitch. And Mannion injecting that bit of pace. He's been chased by a couple of players. And Rafter dives in, but it's enough to turn Mannion back. Now Shane Walsh. Shane Walsh dancing left and right. He's been chased by Owen O'D. And he's going into a bit of a cul-de-sac, but he's a good man to find his way out of one. And he lofts up a hand pass, which Darren Mullen does incredibly well to hold on to, or should I say Michael Mullen, his brother.
And that's a brilliant win by Michael Mullen under pressure from Walsh there. Chance here.
Yeah, McGowan back to Keane O'Connor. And Keane O'Connor, who's been an excellent player and scorer for Crokes over the years, he stems the bleeding somewhat, and Crokes are back in the black.
Brilliant score. We were maybe critical of Michael Mullen being booked back to field a little bit earlier on. The pick-up he got there was brilliant. A little bit of space here for the Fianna.
Nice spin by David Quinn. Puts a kick pass over the top for Conor McHugh, who's been held certainly by the goal scorer Mark O'Leary. And what will the referee do here? He's reaching for his pocket. There's obviously a card coming. But which colour will it be? Probably a yellow.
It'll be a yellow, I'd say, that he's pulling them back, but significant strength from Conor McHugh there. He's running through. They're probably both holding on to each other, but McHugh was able to release his arms, whereas he maybe just leaves Mark O'Leary with his hand in just a little bit longer for the referee to see it. They were definitely both pulling out of each other. It'll be a yellow card. I don't think it could be.
Yeah, it's a yellow. The Fianna supporters are certainly frustrated, but
I don't think it could be anything more. I think that, they were both pulling out of each other. Yes, there was a goal chance, but there was equally a chance for the defender to get it away. So, chance for Lacey to narrow the gap. But a brilliant score at the other end of the field. As mentioned, Michael Mullins winning the corner after the pass from Shane Walsh. Brilliant to set up the score.
Well, Craig Diaz is withdrawn. I think that's Tom Fox now onto the pitch for Crokes. So it doesn't get any easier for Na Fianna. Well, David Lacey will look to pop this over the bar for his third free, and I think it's going to be his third point in a row for Na Fianna. So there's a physio on the pitch tending to Shane Walsh, rubbing something on his back, and the Na Fianna supporters are suggesting that he should have to go off because he's getting treatment. Yeah.
Well, technically they're not wrong, I suppose, but bit of gamesmanship maybe.
So back to within 3 points again, 1-9-9. Exciting game here, semi-final. A place alongside Coola in the final at stake.
Yeah, we've seen Kilmacood see out these games before when they've been coming under pressure. So the question is, can Na Fianna bring something a little bit different? Just mix it up a little bit, put the pressure on.
Keane O'Connor, who got that last point. Rafter and Paul Mannion getting into it again, but the play goes ahead. And here's Rafter coming across to Keane O'Connor, who's taken a couple of steps, but he manages to steady down until the shot, which shanks wildly off to the left.
He's taken someone aside for a chat. Should be, this time it's Adam Rafter who's going to find his name going into the book.
So there's been 4 yellow cards for Crokes. Looks like this will be a first one for Na Fianna. They did have that black card in the first half for Johnny Cooper. Now David O'Hanlon.
Need to retain possession. Na Fianna.
O'Hanlon clips it up for Dealey, but it's claimed instead by McGowan. Now it's Darragh Mullen, who has Hugh Kenny outside him. Kenny, he unleashes a shot, and it's over the bar. That's Hugh Kenny with his first point of the day. And again, the kickouts are proving difficult for to retain for Na Fianna, Coleman.
Yeah, there was actually a coming together as Na Fianna were shown for the kick out there. So there was a few underneath us here getting a bit vocal about it. And they feel it impacted the kick out, and then David O'Hanlon had to go long. So obviously it's all within what is going on out in the field. So there's going to be a booking here.
Tom Fox.
Yeah, but ultimately the score has come on the back of what Tom Fox interrupting the kick out, if that makes sense. But there's so much going on. It's impossible. Linesmen are helping out. The referee is trying to keep a lid on things. But I mean, there's so much going on across the field. Very difficult job for him to try and keep an eye on everything.
Fiacre Potts makes himself available for this kick out and wheels away with it. Doran runs into 2 tackles, and he's fouled by a combination of Cian O'Connor and Hugh Kenny.
Yeah, there was actually a contact inside, a trip inside as the first run was made towards the ball. I think it was from Brian O'Leary, but don't think it was spotted inside. So if Lacey takes this on, it's going to be a difficult free for him.
Yeah, we have about 20 referees on the pitch and plenty on the sideline today. We're number 20 on for Kilmacud Crokes, that's Joe Quigley. And Shane Walsh has been withdrawn, so he was being tended to a little while ago, getting something rubbed on his back. But maybe he's not at 100% because he couldn't imagine taking him off with 4 points between the sides and 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, not a bad replacement. Quigley, very pacey up front for Kilmacud. Will definitely test the Na Fianna defensive line. It's a big kick for Lacey.
He's been good so far with his frees. This is probably the most difficult of the lot, but he makes it look routine. That's 110 to 10. 51 minutes almost gone. We're coming into the...
They've had one significant shot at goal, that Conor McHugh shot that was well saved, brilliantly saved in fact by Devon Burns. You just wonder, is there another goal chance within the Fianna? It's a big ask maybe to hit 4 unanswered scores against this Kilmacud Croke side. So to win it they definitely have to do that. To draw it they need 3, but if they could get one significant breakaway to try and create a goal scoring opportunity.
Well, Vinnie Flynn is on for Quinn. 3 points in it. 8.5 minutes to go. Maybe a little bit more. Cian O'Connor has definitely injected something into the game since coming off the bench, but he's been chased by a crew of Na Fianna players, and he does well to get it back to Dara Mullen.
They did brilliant. Thought he was going to lose it. There was 4 converging on him.
Now Tom Fox, he's going to go back to goal scorer Mark O'Leary. Now it's Paddy O'Connor who's got 4 so far. And Mannion who draws the free. A bit of contact from Owen O'D.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in it from Owen O'D's perspective, just to coming together on it. He's saying they were crossing, so gives Paul Mannion a chance to, or maybe not Paul Mannion, but gives a chance to Kilmacud Crokes to bring it out to 4 points.
They'd wish they still had Shane Walsh on the pitch to take this one with on the right hand side. Well, for a right sider kicker, I should say.
Yeah, probably Dara Mullen might have a go off it if he fancies it. He looks like he will. Owen O'D getting a bit of treatment on the calf. I think it was just himself and Paul Mannion.
So Mullen now to put 4 points between the sides, and you can hear the crowd approving. Excellent score from Dara Mullen, his first of the day.
Yeah, and he's been quiet from an attacking point of view, Dara Mullen, but that's a big contribution this stage in the game.
So Hanlon once more has to face into a kick out in that heavy Kilmacud Crokes press. He goes long, Dealey will be under it, so too will Lacey, and it breaks back to James Doran, who's powering forward. He's got Brian O'Leary breaking out. Brian O'Leary gets the ball, and he's potentially fouled by Mullen, but no, it plays on, and it's Conor McHugh who doesn't waste any time, and he pumps the fist, so you know that one's over the bar. And an instant response from Na Fianna. They're not going away, Coleman.
No, that's a brilliant score. Great work over on the sideline to win it back, and Conor McHugh didn't even think twice. You needed a score, pops it over the bar of his left. Been very good second half, as with David Lacey. They've got so much more out of their forward line during this second half than they have in the opening. And you can see McHugh's disappointed there. There was a chance to maybe squeeze the kick out. They've conceded it again. It just gives Kilmacud a chance to build.
Don O'Brien and Clancy.
I think they need to come out a little bit in the Fina, see if they can orchestrate a turnover.
Yeah, it's Tom Fox who seemed to take an arm across the head from McHugh, and then Potts went back for a nibble.
Yeah, I think Conor McHugh will be spoken to first for the high arm. It'll certainly be a yellow card on it.
Just plenty of players getting to know one another.
It's just a question of what maybe has been spotted sideline.
And the referee's reaching for his notebook.
There's definitely a card for Conor McHugh, I'd say, for the high hand. Faker Potts might scamper away, but I think the referee might be looking to hold on to him.
So will it be yellow or more?
I think it's a yellow card for Conor McHugh. It'd just be interesting to see if he's looking to speak to Faker Potts.
Anxious couple of moments here for Potts and Nafina. He gets a red, so that is a massive blow for Nafina coming down the stretch here.
Yeah, I think the linesman might have thought that as after the initial contact from Conor McHugh, the Faker Potts might just have a stray hand across the back of the head. So if you just see it again, so it's a high hand there. Just watch Potts coming in. Yeah,
A thing of nothing, really.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure what the referee spotted there. Hard to see.
Like his arm did move in around the direction of the player's head, but was there much contact? Well, there's more going on here. Damir Ishka is about to get his name taken. He's obviously a little bit unhappy about that decision to issue a red card to Potts.
Yeah.
And a red card follows.
Yeah, it wasn't overly clear in terms of the Faker Potts red card as to why he was given the red card, and maybe the way the hand movement was. Certainly can understand Conor McHugh's yellow card, so it's a big blow for Nafina. They've lost their Mayor Ishka as well here. The ask becomes that bigger now. There is probably 4 or 5 minutes additional time that will be played on top of what we've left to play, but it's a big ask now. They're down a player.
Luke Ward is on for Hugh Kenny. But Nafina already had to play 10 minutes of this game down to 14 men when Johnny Cooper was issued a black card, and now they're going to have to play the last 3.5 plus change minutes here. They're going to need something of a minor miracle if they're going to get to that final. 3 points between the sides against a team like Crokes that can feel like a yawning gap. Mannion. Back to Dan O'Brien. He goes back once more to Clancy. Now Andrew McGowan. Across to Quigley. And Quigley has a shot, pulls the trigger, but it's blocked down by Redden. And Johnny Cooper's looking for it, but the ball is scuttling in all directions. And he's decided that Darren Mullen tried to pick that up off the ground.
An absolutely brilliant block from Kieran Redden.
Doran does well there.
Was second favourite, but backed himself to get the block. Gives it a turnover Nafina.
So Nafina now on the attack once more. Vinnie Flynn. Back to Doran. They need to get this ball forward quickly.
Yeah, but there's plenty of time on the clock. There's 4 or 5 minutes at least with all yellow cards that have been brandished, red cards.
It's Lacey now. And back to Cooper. A man down. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Crokes have been down this road many times.
They have. They've everyone inside the 45. They know, I mentioned before half time that it was for Nafina not to concede a big score.
And Caffrey on the spin and straight over the bar. That's a fantastic score and badly needed for Nafina.
Well, they're down to 2. First time has been a 2-point gap since the 30th minute of the first half, and then that goal came for Kilmacud Crokes. They're a player up, yet still back them to see it out. But Nafina, opportunity on the kick out here, big squeeze.
Yeah, David O'Hanlon in the goals was looking to get involved to try and make it man on man up the field, but Kilmacud have found a way to retain possession. Conor McHugh's the closest man to Burns. who pumps it long, and it looks like it's going to bounce out over the sideline. Darren Mullen does very, very well, but the linesman indicates that it had gone out.
Yeah, it's going to be brought up another little bit. Kilmacode's feeling the squeeze a little bit. The 14 men, you might feel an injustice done to you, but in terms of the card being issued, just might raise your gallop for the last couple of minutes.
Here's Rafter with Doran behind him. We're in the final minute of normal time. 2 points between the sides. That goal by Mark O'Leary before the break being the crucial score.
In relative terms, they've managed the game very well with 14 players. They conceded 1-1 in that period of time, the goal being the critical score, I guess. But again, down to 14 men, and it's them who've got the first score since the red card was brandished.
And Doran running down a blind alleyway. He holds on to it, gets it back to Johnny Cooper. There's a few Crokes players committed to that tackle, but they managed to get set up again, and Na Fianna have to build from the back once more. David O'Hanlon is joining the attack now.
Yeah, need to get inside that 45. You get a free inside the 45. You have David O'Hanlon, you have Conor McHugh, you have options in terms of score takers, but you've got to get in there. Great spin.
There's McHugh, brilliant pace, injection, holds his head, and that ball has just drifted off wide. Did excellently to get through, but then just...
Yeah, but there was 3 Crokes converging on him, and it was difficult then when that pressure was coming on. It was a huge opportunity, but he's been good, one of the leaders in this second half for the Fianna, and they've been under big pressure. Great show from Mannion.
Yeah, Mannion left totally free on the right wing, and on the left wing here, David O'Hanlon had pressed up for the Fianna, trying to make sure that they got a good squeeze on, but it didn't happen, and Kilmacud are able to relieve the pressure straight away and use the full width of the pitch and try and eat up that clock. We're in injury time now.
Yeah, but there has to be, as I said, there has to be 4 or 5 minutes. There's been so many, incidents have gone on, so many cards and stuff issued. But there's easy 4 or 5 minutes. Just can the Fianna get hands on the ball, create something?
Cian O'Connor, who's made a big impression since coming on, runs at Lacey and gets away from him. And now it's Paddy O'Connor, who's got 4 points. He's on to goal scorer Mark O'Leary, and he finishes the game off. Really nice score from Mark O'Leary. That puts 3 points between the teams, and it's a long way back with very little time left for Na Fianna.
Yeah, the virtue of the extra man, just giving them a little bit of space. He's touched on the ground, surely.
Yeah, that's Darren Mullen. I think that's his second time touching on the ground in the space of a few minutes, and Johnny Cooper shows him to the turf. And there's a bit of wrestling going on, probably a few words being said. We've had plenty of cards issued today.
Yeah, play away, I think. Again,
62nd minute.
Could easily have seen a yellow card there. Not that there's huge value in it from an Fianna point of view. It's time they need.
It's Doran now. How long before they start pumping it into the area? And Doran was fouled, and just means that Crokes can get everyone set up inside the area.
Yeah.
Will he hang it in there?
Yeah, I still think there's a couple of minutes. Maybe you stick it down and give it to David O'Hanlon to pop it over the bar and then press the kick out. I'm not sure that's the right option.
And Doran puts it into the 14. It's batted away by Darren Mullen. Now Owen O'D, who has a couple of players coming over to make life uncomfortable. He kicks it back across to Cooper, who handles it up into the area. There's plenty of Crokes bodies there, and they managed to get it away, and now they're on the counter-attack. And a lofted kick pass for Quigley, who's bursting up the field now, but he's under a lot of pressure from number 19, Vinnie Flynn. And it's a free that won by Quigley for Crokes, and it gives them an opportunity now to just kill the game for a second.
Yeah, I actually think that it should have been a Fianna free. There was a great tackle put in, that there was no foul initially. It was the retreating, I think it was Vinnie Flynn who put in a big tackle. But then when Quigley went to ground, he fell on top of the ball, which is automatically a pick-up. But the referee deemed not to be a foul, and then the incident then fell out on the back of that, I guess, with James Doran, where there's another yellow card issued.
64th minute we're in now, and Na Fianna totally running out of time. The free has been moved up.
Yeah, and Devin Burns maybe getting a signal to come up and have a look at it. But I just think maybe Na Fianna made the wrong decision there with that opportunity. Put the ball down, give it to David O'Hanlon to knock it over the bar, and then squeeze the kick out. There's still a couple of minutes in the clock.
Well, Paul Mannion went to kick it, but it clipped off Owen O'D. It's going to be taken once more. Burns comes once more, and Mannion tells him where to go. And he goes back to Burns. Burns gives it straight back to Mannion. Now it's Clancy.
Yeah, it's all going to go backwards now. Na Fianna
will
try and entice them out, exactly.
Yeah, a man down. Na Fianna. Can they get the press? Can they turn the ball over? They need a goal at this stage. Mannion and Dan O'Brien, who's negotiating a bit of trouble over there from Kieran Redden. Brian O'Leary trying to get pressure on. And now Burns with an ambitious kick pass over the top for Tom Fox, which works out. And Fox with O'Connor and O'Brien. And the Fianna are committing bodies now, but they can't quite get their hands on it. And Cian O'Connor once more. He's been really good since coming on, and that's the final whistle. Kilmacud Crokes are back into a county final. They're chasing the 4 in a row, and they're one step closer. They'll meet Coola in the final, their local neighbours. When they met in the hurling final in 2012, it was called the Clash of the Cash, so we've got a rebirth of that now in the final in a couple of weeks' time. But Na Fianna, try as they might, being down that man, it obviously made it more difficult towards the end. But Crokes, were they full value?
They probably were, in fairness to them. I think the black card before half time was a big turning point, and then obviously the crucial score came on the back of that when Johnny Cooper was off the field at 5 points to 3, and bear in mind Kilmacud Crokes hadn't scored for 18 minutes at that stage, so they had weathered the storm initially. They'd done very well to get to where they got to Na Fianna, and then they gave away that goal, which was a big score to give away, and then they pretty much matched themselves second half. There was that goal opportunity from Conor McHugh that he was unlucky, obviously didn't nestle in the top corner, but a fantastic save from Devin Burns. But when the game comes into the mix like that, Kilmacud Crokes, so experienced, so good at seeing it out. Na Fianna will be disappointed. They'll be quite, will question maybe some of the decisions that went their way or didn't go their way effectively, and the impact that maybe had in the game. But through and through, probably Kilmacud managed the game that little bit better, despite the fact that there was a huge effort from Na Fianna, and definitely green shoots in terms of improvement on where they were potentially at last year. Albeit, the ultimate prize for them is to get to a Dublin county final and to win that county final.
Yeah, and Na Fianna did so much right, keeping Shane Walsh scoreless from play, keeping Paul Mannion scoreless from play, but Crokes had too many aces, and eventually they got over the line. We're going to go through the highlights of the second half, and just starting off here with Paul Mannion coming through and Rory O'Carroll showing for him. And
yeah, I'm just not sure he got the hand pass right, which put Rory O'Carroll on the back foot. Still, when you look at it again, it was an absolutely brilliant save from David O'Hanlon in the goal.
Peter Schmeichel-esque.
Yeah, but Conor McHugh was excellent in the second half for Na Fianna. He put one wide when there was a chance to narrow the gap to 1. But every time he got on the ball, he was trying to create something. He won a free, gave opportunity. Great score from Hugh Kenny. It was 1-6-4, and then Crokes managed to push it out to 1-7-4. This is where the throw-in was given. The Paddy O'Connor picks up the break here and catches a great score. So it's 1-7-4. So they're under pressure. They're 6 points down. Cut the gap again down, but Na Fianna came once more, and again it was through Paddy O'Connor that they went out to 1-8. So there was a 6 point gap there, and that was still with 20 minutes to play. So great credit to Na Fianna. This is the save we're talking about. Brilliant effort from Conor McHugh, and a super save from Burns to push it off to the side. It was probably the only real clear-cut goal chance they had, but that gave them a lift. They kicked 3 points on the spin off the back of that goal chance. Great point from David Quinn, backed up by a free from Lacey, and then Lacey contributed with another great score from play. Well worked out. Despite the pressure coming his way, drops it over the bar, and all of a sudden the gap is down to 3 points. Fairness, great response from Kilmacud Crokes, and Cian O'Connor, who you mentioned, came on at half time and had a serious input for Kilmacud, carried a lot of ball forward and gave them a bit of momentum. Again, David Lacey with a free, and then there was this one that put Conor McHugh through on goals. They're probably both pulling out of each other. Yellow card given where in the territory that had happened, and another free from Lacey. Crokes, as you rightly said, they had a couple of aces in the pack outside of your standards at this stage. Shane Walsh has gone off the field, so you're relying on others to get scores, given that he's not able to do it. Step forward, Dara Mullen, who knocks one over when you'd be looking for Shane Walsh. Again, great pick here and a great score. Only one thought in his mind, which is a brilliant score from Conor McHugh. And then there's the incident here, and again, it's not quite clear what the red card was for. Certainly Conor McHugh, you can see that initial contact. Yeah. There was maybe 2 kind of, slaps or strikes down or whatever, but, the linesman definitely called in the referee, and the referee seemed to concur whatever the decision was. From a Na Fianna point of view, bitterly disappointing that it's a red card. And Fiacre Potts, who was, he's physical, but he plays fairly within the rules of the game, but it finished up as a won 12-12, and when you think back, where did the critical score came from? We spoke about it. Don't give away a big score just before half-time. Easier said than done when you're up here, when Johnny Cooper received the black card, and that's ultimately what splits the teams.
And Mark O'Leary, wing back there, he finished with 1-1. Paddy O'Connor, initially not named to start, but he did, and he scored 4 points, so a brilliant contribution from him. So that's it. Kilmacud Crokes, they're into the go-ahead Ireland Dublin Senior 1 football final against Kilmacud, or against Coola I should say, in 2 weeks time. We'll be back with full coverage of that. Make sure you follow Dublin GA on all the social channels, including YouTube, and we'll see you then. Thanks very much, Colin.
No problem, Shane.